Morning guys, it's Recovery Jim here. I'm just taking in the view where I am today. It's beautiful. I've been working this morning, but it's Good Friday, so happy Easter and all that kind of jazz. But yeah, so I had a meeting last night, read the JFT just for today this morning, which is about attraction, and I get it, man. I was reading that this morning and I was like, do you know what? When I walked into those rooms, first time half cut, second time miserable as fuck, and just kind of thinking, where do I go from here? And then you see the happy faces, the kind of the health in people. You see that they're not struggling every day. They've made the choice. They're kind of they're living their best life, for want of a better term. And you latch onto that and you're like, fuck, can I be like them? And then you're like, well, yeah, because they were like me, and they've managed to rectify their life, to turn it around, and that is the kind of rules of attraction. It is, you see it and you want it, and you think, fuck, I'm gonna do everything I can to get there. And also, the newcomer being the most important person, we welcome them in, and again, the attraction thing, I think it works both ways, because you want to help them when they come in, because you see yourself in them. You see that was you. It's a kind of revolving door, and that's what's amazing about the program, the meetings, the rooms, whatever you want to call it, because it's almost like we're all one being, and we're kind of doing a merry-go-round, although none of us want to go back to that. We want to go back to that and help them, bring them forward, walk with them, trudge with them. And that it's very kind of poignant today, just because we had our NA Zoom last night, and there's three people that are really struggling at the moment, and they talk about you're not allowed to cross share, but fuck it, you know what, we're not cross sharing so much in that we're saying do this and do that. We're trying to give suggestions, because when you see people really, really struggling, you try and just advise kind of like where you're from and where you've been and all that. And I was trying to kind of pinpoint why this time I got sober is anyway different from the previous times when I did relapse. So I was trying to put it into words, and I guess the way I was trying to put it was that this time when I got sober was it was to do with the rooms, and it was to do with me going in, but it was to do with me making a choice this time, making a different kind of outlook. That I was saying last night, that I had heard the one day at a time thing, so I thought, I'm going to try everything one at a time. I'm going to go to one meeting, and even if I hate it, I'll still do it, and then I'll do another one at a time. I'll do my Zoom meetings one at a time. And I kind of closed myself off from everything else. I took myself off of social media right away at the beginning. I mean, I know I did start my Instagram quite early, but that was more for me. I wasn't, on Facebook and posting and this, that, and the other. I was more, what I mean was, I wasn't really interacting with a lot of people outside of my recovery unit, because I wanted to be this kind of cocooned kind of hermit for a short while, and I just felt that was really the only way I could do it. And at the time, I didn't really want to speak to many people. The only people I really wanted to speak to were people in recovery, and I kind of, the more and more I did those one meetings at a time, And then I, you know, I didn't decide I was going to do 90 meetings in 90 days straight away, but the more and more I did one at a time, the more and more I yearned for them, and I wanted to get back into meetings. You know, I've said it before, at weekends I really struggled because I knew I had a meeting on a Monday, and so from Friday to Monday, it was quite a long weekend. I did have a Zoom on a Saturday, but you know, actually going and seeing my new tribe was something I really missed. So yeah, so it's kind of what was different this time. You know, that was it. It was really kind of the focus on everything had to be about recovery for me. It wasn't yeah, you know, yeah, I didn't have a job. Yeah, I was living back at my parents'. I'd hit fucking rock bottom, and I know you know, sometimes people say, oh, you know, well, they've not hit rock bottom, so they can't come back. That's bullshit. You know, I didn't really have anywhere else to turn. And yeah, I hadn't fully hit rock bottom. Well, I kind of hit it a few times, but it was worse and worse and worse. So the last time was really fucking, you know, almost destitute. And I think, you know, that did help me because there was nowhere else to go apart from jails, institutions of death. But it can be arrested if you think that's not where I want to end up. I've still got my job. I don't want to lose that. You know, I've still got my family. I don't want to lose that. Yeah, I still had my family. I was close to losing it. So I wouldn't call it a luxury that I had this rock bottom to do, because, you know, you don't want to get there, is what I'm trying to say. You want to arrest it before you get there, before you get arrested. Excuse the pun. But it's more about making that choice of, this is my focus point. You know, forget about missing a meeting because there's something on TV, or forget about, you know, not reading that chapter of the big book because you wanna go on a video chat with a mate, you know, that you haven't seen in a while. These things can wait. These things are all fucking irrelevant at this point, you know, because getting sober is the most important thing in your life at the moment, and it was in mine. It still is, you know, but I manage now to balance other things. So it's kind of like, you know, you have one thing and that's getting sober, and then two things is staying sober, and then three things is like, well, maybe I'll, you know, start really focusing on my job again, or getting a job for me, and it's you know, and then start kind of connecting with your family. You know, your family are there as long as you don't push them any further away. Then, you know, you're all right. You can deal with that at another time, and all of these things can be dealt with later, you know, because at the main focus point, the only thing that matters is getting sober and staying sober, because everything else will fall into place afterwards. It really will. And you know, I know meetings aren't great when you first go and you feel like shit, or if you're still drinking and using, then yeah, it's a tough place to be, but it does get better. It really does get so much better. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just, you know, I'm not on the payroll for NA or whatever, you know, because, well, there isn't a payroll, but also because I actually genuinely mean this. It gets so much better, and you make amazing new friends and a new way of life. And just, you know, I don't want to preach, like, you know, I just want to try and get it through to people that this way of life is so much better than where I was before, or where any of you guys are now. And it's you know, this is it, man. It's, you know, even people that I think maybe just have a weekend drink or whatever, they don't have a problem. Like, well, why are you waking up on a Saturday morning? What fun did you have the night before that you couldn't have done without the booze? You know, I mean, I know I used to be like that. I'd be like, oh, I need to have a drink, because it's more fun. I like get all silly in that. I'm fucking silly as fuck without the booze. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm a party animal or anything like that, but I honestly didn't need booze for a long time. Yeah, I was shy in a bit when I was younger, but you know, as you get older, you get a bit more like, I don't really care what people think of me, so I just kind of get on with it. But I'd already been hooked on the booze at that point, and thought I needed it to have a good time, when actual fact, you know, I can have a good time sitting in a darkened room on my own. No, because I can, you know, I can entertain myself, and you know what, I like to think that I can hold my own in a social environment. So, yeah, I'm going off in a digressive tangent here, but that's about it today. Yeah, it's beautiful here. There's a guy next to me. I think he's got his kayak out, but that little cottage behind me is actually Ned Begg's. So from the film Waking Ned, filmed up in Craignish, set in Ireland. Very funny film, and but the cottage that Ned is supposed to be in, which is, it says Ned Begg's up there, but this is actually his cottage here that they filmed. So it was a bit more remote. But yeah, have a fantastic Easter, people. Good Friday today. I might do another one over the weekend because I am actually taking a bit of time off as well. So yeah, do the usual. You know what that is. And stay safe, stay strong, and stay supportive. All right. Peace.